Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I finally changed my main phone that I use on a daily basis. The one that I had is this one that I'm filming with now, the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro 5G, the 128GB version, and it's a brilliant phone. I'm not changing it because I hate it or I'm having problems with it. I'm changing it because I'm, well, bored. I want something new. It even has 2 months worth of warranty left. I needed a phone with more camera control, you know. And well, I think you already read in the video title what my new phone is. So it's the Sony Xperia 1.4. Well, 1 Mark IV. And this is kind of it. I have already unboxed it because I think you saw in my last videos that something changed in my main camera that I'm filming myself now. It's not this phone, it was this phone. Well, let's begin. And here it is. Well, the unboxing experience is not something fancy. I mean, yeah, well, you'll see. It has a 12 megapixel and 12 megapixel and 12 megapixel camera with 3D ITOF and 12 megapixel selfie camera. It's a 4K HDR OLED display. Actually, yeah, it has a 4K resolution, 5000 mAh battery, and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, IP65 and 68. The Motorola also had the same processor, the one that I had, and Zeiss optics. Good. This is the box, nothing fancy, and I'm getting some iPhone vibes here. This was on the screen, I already took it off. This is the phone. And in the box, you only get some manuals. And that's kind of it. No cable, no charger, no nothing. At least on the iPhone you get some cables. One cable, anyway, here. Like I said, I already used the phone and I've put some protective screens on it because, well, I work in a dangerous environment. This is the phone. And I actually like the design. The fingerprint scanner, volume buttons up and down. And this is a dedicated camera button with the focus as well. Oh, and USB Type-C 3.2, I believe, or 3.1. I honestly forgot. Look at this amazing surprise. 3.5mm audio jack. Oh yeah. And also this one is the 256GB version. There's also a 500GB version one. But look at this awesome thing. Here is where the SIM card is. And it's already inserted. I'm gonna take it out. This is how you open it, with your nail. No SIM card key needed. And you can also put a micro SD card in it. Up to 1 terabyte. Yeah, boy. Feeling a bit free here. And there we have it. I already configured it for myself, you know. It has a, like I said, 4K resolution display with 120Hz refresh rate. Here is the front-facing camera. It has stereo speakers. One at the top, that's the earpiece, and one here at the bottom in the front, so you can actually hear stereo. Of course, it also has Dolby Digital. Yeah, this button also has a fingerprint scanner on it. It doesn't have a Face ID or something like that it unlocks when it sees you. Some people say that it has, but I couldn't find it on this phone. I mean, anyway, I don't use it. That's not a problem. For me, anyway. And I like the purple one. Here are the 3 cameras on the back. The flash, which is a pretty weak flash. NFC. It also has 30 watts fast charging and 15 watts wireless charging that I'm using now. This is the wide angle camera. This is the normal camera. Actually, this is the wide, the ultra wide, and telephoto. And the 3D sensor here, with infrared, I believe. And these are the standard apps here: Photo Pro, Video Pro, Cinema Pro, Music Pro, and Cinema Library. I mainly bought this phone for the camera. As specs, like I said, it's an octa-core processor, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and 12GB of RAM. Again, the same specs as the Motorola Edge 30 Ultra that I had before this. And the display, it's a bit narrow. And the front-facing camera, it's above the display. I mean, it has a bit of a notch in the chin here, but that doesn't matter, you won't notice that. Like my old phone, the Xiaomi, had actually it has a bigger screen. This is what I mean. I mean, I didn't sell this yet. I'm thinking I might not sell it anyway. I also activated the gestures on this phone. Now let's talk about the cameras, because this is all about the phone. Like, let's go to Photo Pro. Let's do the auto rotate. It has multiple functions. Basically, it gives you freedom over the camera, just like a DSLR or like my main camera now that I'm using, and I might change. Let's remain here on basic first. Here you have more, like slow motion, selfie, portrait, panorama, creative effect. Basically, these are other apps, to say like that, for, you know, selfie. Boo. Let's go back. Slow motion. Yeah. Here we have the zoom. Now it's on wide, the ultra wide 0.7. Then we go up to it does digital zoom until it changes to the wide camera, and then here we have digital zoom up to 3.4. At 3.5 it switches to the telephoto camera. This is optical zoom. Let me try like this. Look at this camera. Am I using it? Yes. And then from there it goes digitally to 15.6 zoom. It also has AI zoom. Yeah, let's head back to the first one. You can also use the volume buttons to do zoom. Something like this. If you want to buy this phone, I recommend when you do videos and photos with it, set the brightness to the maximum. Here you can change the screen ratio. It was 4:3 because it's at where the 12 megapixel is. Then 16:9 it's 9 megapixel, and again flash, let's set it to auto. It also has fast shutters. So this is a timer, HDR. This is one photo. This is continuous photo, low. I just took, how many I missed. Now let's go to high. Did you hear that? Now let's go low HDR. This is at low speed, and now they're saving. Now let's go to high speed. I don't know how many I took, I didn't see, but there are a lot. Now they're saving, I can't do anything yet. This is the bokeh, like, look at this, look at my finger. Let's activate it. See in the background, something like that, it blurs the background. Okay, you can also adjust the color, cold or warm, and the brightness. Let's reinitialize it, yes. Here you can change to the selfie camera. Again, it's the same settings. And here you can switch to video. Now it films video, the front-facing camera, and the front-facing camera has no zoom. Now let's switch back to the main camera. Again, press here, and you can, right now in Photo Pro, you can only film 4K, but only 30 FPS, then HD and Full HD 60 FPS. So on 4K now, it's 30 FPS. I'm gonna choose H264, because it's easier to edit. Again, control over the flash, if you want it to be permanently on. Autofocus, I'll keep it activate. SDR or HDR. I prefer SDR. And again the lights. The zoom as well. Here is the button for the gallery with what you pictured. These are all the photos that it took on burst. And basically in the menu, that's what you set the camera to. And you can set what the volume buttons do. In this case is zoom, volume, or shutter. Basically this button, which there's no need because this is the button. And also remote control for it. I'll get to that later. Now let's change the mode. This is basic. When you get to the other modes, like for example auto, you can't film videos in this mode anymore, only photos. Here you have access only to the autofocus, that it continuously autofocus or just once. Let's go to one picture, the aspect ratio, and you can save it as JPEG, RAW plus JPEG, or only RAW. I'm going to use JPEG because I don't edit photos. It also shows you the remaining battery. It also auto detects how the photo mode is now, like someone running. And if you press here, this is a focus point. It will autofocus on that. And press here to remove. You can't change anything here. Now let's go to automatic program. This will only control the shutter speed on the automatic, and the other settings are in my hands. We have the EV here, autofocus on and off. This is the autofocus, that's the same technology and the Sony Alpha cameras, I believe. Focus zone, wide or center. Of course, wide. HDR automatically white balance. Now if you go to S, this prioritizes the shutter speed. Manually control the shutter speed. If in order to use this phone properly, you must have at least the minimum knowledge of how to use a professional camera, a DSLR or mirrorless, even compact camera. You must know the settings of them, because this phone is basically a camera. If you don't know what you're doing, this phone is useless to you. I know what I'm doing, I know what I need. Also the Xiaomi also gave me all these functions in Pro mode, but this one it's a lot better. And here you can change the camera. Now it's the wide one, this is the ultra wide, and this is the zoom. Now let's go to completely manual. Here it's completely manual. This is the shutter speed, which I'm gonna set it right here. ISO as well. Like I said, everything is manual here. You have full control of the camera if you know what you're doing. And if I press this, nothing else presses anymore. It locks it here on these controls. Display basically shows you what's displaying. This is the level. I don't need any of these. And if I go here, this is basically a complete reset, which I'm not gonna do. So this was the camera mode, the Photo Pro. And now let's go to Video Pro. On the Video Pro, well, you only have one automatic option, this. If I press auto, it auto adjusts. I also forgot to show you this when you're in photo. I forgot to show you this. If you hold the camera, it has two, basically there are two buttons in one. If you press it gently, it begins the focus. And if you press it harder, it takes the picture. Now on video, it doesn't, it only works when you press it harder, you know, in the second click to begin recording. Here you have the ground level, and so you can also adjust this, the time remaining, and basically everything. This is autofocus, and if I choose manual focus, this is how I focus. Let's remain to auto. Also, this is how you take close-up shots, like macro. It doesn't have a macro camera. You have to adjust the focus, and you have to get closer to the subject and adjust the focus, and that's your macro. Here we have the settings for this, the project, where to save it. And you can also do a live stream to any social network like YouTube. And just put the URL here and it will do live stream with this. Now this phone, it's people say about this phone that it gets very hot. I mean, yeah, it gets hotter because, you know, of the processing that's required for it. This is where it gets the most hotter. The one that was in the showroom was permanently charging, and it was hot as, wow, you have no idea. When you first start the phone and initialize the cameras, it will give you the message that when an icon with hot symbol on it means that the phone will get hotter. Like hotter to the point when you can't even hold it because it will burn you. And if it gets too hot, the phone will start to be sluggish and the camera will close, which is kind of normal when a computer gets too hot, you know. This is to take a picture. When you press here while recording, this is the record button, or this one. Here are the microphones, both of them. You can also use a microphone in the audio jack, or if you have a Type-C one, like I do. Now let's go to menu. Here you choose which camera to use, or if you use this one, like zooming in and out continuously, it zooms continuously, like it you barely notice when it changes the cameras. I'm going back to this one, and here you can also choose how many FPS, lower being 24, 25, 30, 60, and 120, which is pretty awesome. When you use it at the max settings like here, then is when you may notice that the phone becomes hotter. And now it changes to the front-facing camera, which is only a 30 FPS one. Right, let's get back to the normal camera. I'm gonna deactivate the auto because I'm only gonna do manual here. Here you have the resolution, 4K of course, the FPS, video light, which is basically the flash, stabilization, which can't be adjusted now, but at 30 FPS it can be adjusted. Again, 60. And now on the second menu we have here white balance. In my case it will be good as fluorescent, but let's get it to automatic for now. ISO, shutter speed, the volume, the in volume and the out volume. These are kind of all the settings that you need for this. Let's get out of here, and now let's go to Cinema Pro. Now we are getting professionals here. I will not use this mode unless I will do professional videos. Like here you have to make new projects if you want to change everything here. It can go up to 120 FPS as well. Aspect, for example, Venice. This is what you use in videos, in movies actually. And what the FPS will record here. You're basically setting the camera FPS and the video FPS. Again, changing the camera, shutter speed, white balance, and now starting to get hotter. But not bad. Cinema library is where you keep the cinematic videos. Well, it automatic gets there. Now Music Pro, something awesome. Let me show you. New project. Let's say project 4. And if I press record, what am I recording now? Voice, guitar, voice and guitar, an important file. And of course I'm going to choose voice. You can actually add more. You can compose your music with this. It's pretty awesome. I'm recording a test for this video to show the capabilities of this phone's microphones, which are actually amazing. And we also have tempo. If you are using instruments. Now let's play it. I'm recording a test for this video to show the capabilities of this phone's microphones, which are actually amazing. You also get some points with Bravia Core, like in their app, and have access to some movies. I haven't used my points yet, but I might when I get bored. I looked a lot in the menu. To take a screenshot on this phone, you press the volume down and power button, and it took the screenshot. And also I've activated the creator mode. This is creator mode that I'm using now. It actually shows the real colors of it, HDR in real time, or standard mode and creator mode when it's automatically activated. And then options just gets the video quality better. I'm still using the creator mode because, you know, I'm a content creator. Now let me show you what I bought for this phone. But before that, I also brought a protective case for it, because I have the bad tendencies to drop stuff. And this is the accessory that I bought for it. It's Sony, of course. This is anyway. Ta-da! It's a camera remote. This is usually for the cameras. I bought it for this because, let's go to settings here. It has this remote control with Bluetooth. Basically, you can connect a remote to the phone, a camera remote to the phone, but it has to be the Sony one. And you can control the phone. Now it's locked. Let's get out here. I unlocked it. Now for example, I'm pressing the volume buttons. I'm not pressing anything on the phone. Record. Stop recording. And the programmer will see what mod I made to change the camera modes. I mean, to change which camera it's using. This is the ultra wide. Let's go back to wide. And what's even amazing that I already had here, and I use it like this. I already had this thing here. Put it here, screw it in, making sure it's perfectly in the center. Okay, and tighten it because it will stay here forever. Also, this thing has legs. You can put it like so. And I have to, oh, okay, it's loosened. This is a button. Let me remember my position. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th, it's where I use it. And I'm gonna tighten this back, so now I can't press the button anymore. I mean, I can press it, but it won't move. And I'm gonna put the phone right here. And it's good that it has this level meter here. I mean, it's perfectly straight now. What's also awesome that I can press this button and rotate it however I want. So I will be using this a lot. Tell me this is not awesome, come on. I mean, again, if you're a content creator, it makes sense. If you just want a phone to think for you, this is not a good phone that thinks for you. This phone doesn't rely on AI to sharpen the image. It doesn't do post-processing. For example, like the Xiaomi does. On camera, the app thinks for you. Video as well. When you get into Pro is when the phone will not think for you anymore. That's when it doesn't do any post-processing. Like if you don't need professional tools, you don't need this phone. You can use any other brand that thinks for you. This phone also has automatic. Like when I get into photo, now it's in basic, it's the same thing as auto. You know, I have everything here, it thinks for you. But in video, well, it also has auto. And again, it thinks for you, but it's not the same thing. If you actually know what you're doing and know what every setting does, you can make awesome videos with it. And I've actually tested that one. Like if you look with this camera that I'm filming now, look in the corners, you'll see like not static, film grain or something like that, if it's called. That's what this camera can do. That's its maximum capacity. I already manually adjusted. More than that I cannot do anything. However, on this thing it handles pretty well on low light. And as for the battery, I bought this because I couldn't find the Sony one. It's a Xiaomi 65 watts charger. Well, a quick charger actually. And I've plugged it with this cable to a wireless charger. And let me show you this. If you have this phone, have the, well, not problem, confusion like I did. Let me show you. So I'm plugging in the charger, the fast charger. I'm gonna put it here and the phone should charge. It's charging, and here is the red LED that's charging because it's 67%. When it gets to 90%, the LED will show green. Now I'm going to take it from the charger and put it directly to the USB Type-C. I've locked it and plugged it in. In case this is in Romanian, it says charging, not fast charging, not quick charging. Well, it doesn't have quick charge, it only has fast charge. And it only says charging. Let's go to settings and you look at the battery. From Romanian to English, it says fast charging. It's fast charging, but it's not showing this on the on the lock screen. Only charging, but it's fast charging. Well, now the thing about this fast charging, from 0 to 40%, I believe, that's when it fast charges to 30 watts, when it's with the cable in. After that it lowers to 15 watts, and after that only to 3 to 1.5 watts, something like that, I believe. Very low, from 60 or 70 to 100. When you have like 50-80% battery and you plug in the charger and you notice that it's charging slowly, it's normal. That's how it's charging after 70% up. Slow, like real slow. Well, basically kind of all phones do slow charge when it's almost 100%. Here's another cool trick. The phone is locked now, right? If I long press the camera button, it will start the Photo Pro app. And you can take pictures like it. And if I close it, it will go back to the lock screen. Now that's pretty awesome, if you ask me. Now I'm gonna film myself using this. And now I'm filming myself with the Sony. This is how it looks, and this is how it sounds as well. I haven't plugged in my microphone yet. Well, my microphone, it's a USB one, it's made for streamers. And I used a USB to USB Type-C and 3.0 version, with which I'm connecting it to the phone. I'm going to connect it now to the phone. Now I've connected this microphone to the phone. And it sounds better. After all, it's a microphone built for this. But the phone's microphones are also brilliant. So this is how my new videos will look from now on. This is where you'll see me. I think it's a better position than the one before. Either way, time to take the phone outside and I'm gonna show you what it's capable of. And honestly, I'm making this review a bit too late because the phone, it's already almost a year old as a model. But, well, this is when I needed the phone and upgraded it. And of course, you know that I'm gonna do review with what I'm buying, right? Like I did with the Motorola. Time to go outside. Let's go. And now that we're outside, we're gonna test the phone with that scenery that we have out here. So let's go. And now I'm using the front-facing camera with the sun in my back, so kind of affects the video quality, but not that much. Now the sun on my face, oh my god, I'm blind. Yeah, I have a reverse mirror. Now with the main camera, trying to hold it as steady as possible, but Now I'm using the 24mm camera with the stabilization on. Let's do some digital zoom. This video is at 30 FPS now with automatic white balance and automatic shutter speed. Now I'm filming with the ultra wide camera, but I've selected the function that when I press the zoom button it's gonna switch the cameras automatically. Like now I'm zooming. Now we're back to the 24mm camera, and now we're at the telephoto camera, and now it's also digital zoom. Struggling to hold it in place. Now I'm in 4K 120 FPS. And that concludes today's pictures and videos. Hope you enjoyed the review.